Chapter 3, an episode of violence. When your lights go out, it's a slow ride down. None. Drowning. Things look far away. Bond was falling like a snowflake among light bulbs, paper cups, and gardening equipment. There was a bright light ahead, but 007 missed it and fell off into a forever of nowhere. He saw himself go by. Yes, my life looks good on paper, thought Bond, but one can lie on paper. I am all too aware of this. How strong our illusions are, and how weak we are without them. Good thing I have my magnetic pocket checkers. I will play. Bond splattered on some sort of ground. The fall knocked him out. When he came to, hours, days, maybe years later, he was hanging from a tree like a fruit. Bugs crawled over him to see if he had rotted anywhere. A young unwed mother came by each day. At first she said nothing, but as the days went by, she had rages and fits. Vago, no hace más que tomar, nunca trabaja, zangano. Bond could see that the child was not right. One night, he let go of the pain, the fear, the truth, and some other things, reached into his pocket and rolled a pair of dice. 7. My lucky number. Bond stood in the water, trembling from head to foot, divided between the impulse to go forward and the inclination to flee in terror. He was free, but what was this place? Bond didn't want to know. There's nothing here, he thought. At least nothing real. Let's leave before she comes back. I have a lousy feeling about her. Trees moaned behind him. The geometric sky reflected innumerable polyhedra, of which only the sharpest bones were visible, pale points as if made of chalk. The sound of an engine first alarmed, then interested James. It was detached then, far away. It meant little to him. It was only later, when he saw the results of the sounds that he'd heard, that they became significant. This is not a tale of wounding men. There are many such. This is the story of a little house of mercy, a girl with a dauntless spirit, and the 2 men who loved her. Only that. Bond sought his goal by narrow paths, barely perceptible, and every day erased by the feet of rival goats, which led by gentle contours to the summit. There, gray rocks, entirely bare of soil and carved by rain and wind, stood in strange forms, rising like the gigantic crenellations of a dismantled fortress. It smells like something bad happened here a long time ago. A small cloud of dusk flickered across the barred sunlight, a shadow of something higher. Soon a ghastly fog rolled in, severing all spatial connections of resemblance and sympathy in the wilderness. Trees wandered like lost sheep as air currents nipped at their heels to herd them together. Bond's human face was finally revealed by the overcast sky as thousands of phantoms stirred to life across his countenance. What he looked like, I, Hildegard von Bingen, cannot remember. You see, the features of truly remarkable persons are neither soft, sharp, sinister, nor heroic, for their qualities drown in the onrush of their look, just as no one can recall the color of a room where for an instant something sensational happened. We stamp the face we love on all forms of things. To a mother, a baby is gigantic enough to blot out the whole world. Unsurprisingly, we ourselves are the little ones of whatever innocent children we deify, as the world is as malleable as our souls, and are, in essence, creators like God, but some of us only need the mud of ourselves, while others need the living clay of all the worlds in existence, and still others bury themselves in their own hardening slime until their souls lay dormant in the winter of their private hell, like certain insects that burrow in the mud. Born's life, now an erection of death, could only go on lifeless through eternity like an unalive fetus in the infinite universe of time. Animals ran from Born as he walked towards the river. Like the griffin, he was rarely violent, but his whole body implicated violence. 007 observed his muscles, 007 observed his muscles reflected in the water, which were inspired by Michelangelo's ability to capture physical strength and raw motion. Meanwhile, chattering, smiling girls waded in the shallows and cast modestly appraising glances at the mainland stranger in the jetty. 20 very charming heads, mischievously giggling pretty faces, curly-topped. 20 young ladies on a trip, animated faces, sparkling, naughty. To Bond, they all seemed beautiful and gay in the soft evening light. The proud and rather coarse nippled breasts, the gleaming muscled buttocks, cleft by the black cord that held in place the frontal triangle of black cotton, the powerful thong around the waist with its string of oval lead weights, through which was stuck on an angular steel pick, the white rag around the tumbled hair, and below, the laughing dark eyes and the lips that were happy with the luck of the day. At that moment, it all seemed to Bond as though the world, his life, should be, and he felt ashamed of his city slicker appearance, let alone the black designs that it concealed. One asked whether he had ever seen a more beautiful sight, and Bond replied, "Yes, I have seen cocks, pheasants, and peacocks, for they are adorned with natural colors and are 10,000 times more beautiful." All of a sudden, as if for nothing, Bond started to cry. Thither gathered the babes to observe Bond's useless contrition, his face deformed by sudden weeping, as if the onset of tears, his human mask had fallen off and disclosed a formless pope of weeping flesh. By weeping, he appeared like the single personality who, by multiplying their tears, brings themselves into the position of one who's seen 20 times in 20 years. Still only one, but many times distressed. And that's when things got officially rad. Do you want to hear more? Please send $12.95 to Rich Billions via Zelle at richbillions@hotmail.com.